Hello guys. So I get another question which is about plant medicine. People are often very surprised. I never tried ayahuasca. I don't do mushroom ceremonies. I don't do rapé. I never done it in my life, even once. I don't... What else do you do, guys? Anyway, I do not use plant medicine. And you want to know why? Probably some of you, yes, because you asked me for it. So I will reply for this right now. Usually I flow. I don't know what I'm going to say. I don't have prepared answer. I will just dive deep within me right now and let's see what's going to come up. So just so you know, from the beginning, I would like you to know that I'm not against anything. As long as you know what you're doing, as long as you are in touch with your intuition and you're feeling, like true feeling, you're really aligned and you say yes to things, that's your medicine, that's your experience. And if you're not, and you're doing it out of other reasons, it's still an experience you can learn from. Because we learn the most in life from our experiences, good and difficult ones. So I am not against plant medicine, tantra, or anything. I'm just here sharing about me, how I'm living, my lifestyle, the way I think, the way I feel about life and other things. So why do I not do the plant medicine? It's because since I was a child, I really cared for a very healthy, juicy, natural way of being. Somehow it was within me all my life. Like I became vegetarian when I was actually 5 years old. I didn't want to eat meat, something which felt weird for me. I didn't want to do that. I had like kind of this feeling and intuition since I was a child. And I grew up, luckily, in a company of people who were more aware than me when I was 15 years old. So I met older people who were meditating, who were into consciousness, who were in the Vedic cultures, like Indian tradition. And I was hanging out around those people because they were resonating with me, and I was learning that way of thinking, which was completely different than Western way of thinking. So I would say that I am not fully Western girl. I am not thinking in this Western way, you know. I have like a bit different core because I've been studying spiritual books since I was very young, and also had very mystical spiritual experiences since a young age. So I was always trained myself to be conscious, to look within me, to reflect, to discover within me what I needed to discover. When I was asking myself questions, I was getting answers. From journaling, for example, I was writing as a girl, teenager, that I have this issue, that issue, and then suddenly another voice was coming, which was giving me advice, which I was writing down. So in a way, I had that inner master, inner teacher, inner wisdom, which was there always. And we all have, guys. You all have that. But I was just using it since it was intuitive, since I was a very young girl. Also, I was gaining information from my dreams. And when I was like 20, I found out about lucid dreaming practice from Tibetan Buddhism. I already was doing it since I was 4 years old, and I was reading some books, but I got deeper into it when I met my teacher Tenzin Wangyal Rinpoche from Tibetan Buddhism, from Dzogchen tradition. And I got inspired that I can really use lucid dreaming to actually not only heal psychologically, which I was doing when I was studying psychology, and I was using tools, psychological tools in my dreams to heal, to resolve some stuff, and especially phobias, spider phobias and stuff. I was also finding out that I can use that space for spiritual experience, asking bigger questions, understanding the reality, being prepared for that experience. Like all those things I was learning through my lucid dreaming experience. So this became such a important part of my life and the way I am. It became my core, that I didn't go into any other tools like which were not natural, which were not only using the body, mind, consciousness connection. I wasn't using any weed, marijuana to heal myself. I didn't to calm down. I was just breathing. I was just meditating. I was dancing. So I always was using like a more what I have. So my body, I have my breath, I have my consciousness. So I was using those tools to help myself if I had a heartbreak or a hard time or stress or a challenge. I was always looking within and checking for myself what's happening within me and asking the questions towards myself so I could receive the answers from within. And that way I was growing. I was growing, also using the lucid dreaming space for experiencing those things which people are like explaining to me when they have, for example, ayahuasca journey or mushroom journey. So I would say that for me, lucid dreaming space and conscious space and visions and looking within became such a important part of my life that I didn't want to lose it. I didn't want to let go of it in a way that because when you smoke or when you drink alcohol or when you smoke cigarettes or when you smoke weed, you don't have that straight clarity and you lose those abilities. It really changes your consciousness. I didn't even drink coffee, guys, and black tea. I'm really like super pure yogic lifestyle since years. Vegan diet, like sometimes vegetarian, don't eat eggs. And like completely, that's what means natural for me. That's how I feel natural within myself. So I didn't need to add anything apart from what I am right now to experience something more, because I was already so much experiencing mystical stuff, healing things. I will tell you more in another videos. Dreams which were bringing me so much shadow integration. I was using therapy, different therapeutic experiences to heal myself, to do family constellation, to heal my shadows, to let out my potentials and talents, but because these are also our shadows called golden shadows. So somehow I felt like I need to more protect this, not abuse it. So I prefer to stay clear, and I am completely aware that there is like a MDMA therapy, LSD therapy, mushroom therapy, ayahuasca therapy. There are different modalities of plant medicine and psychotropic tools to help you to work through PTSD, trauma, and other things. And I truly believe that in some cases it can be super helpful. And even if myself, I experienced CPTSD, the complex PTSD, and I had that urge to look for something outside of myself, I still chose to stay with what I feel, to stay with that anxiety, to stay with that fear, to stay with that rumination, to stay with that panic attacks, to stay with that discomfort in my body, and be with that and looking for my own ways to deal with it, to heal it, when maybe easier would be just to go to an ayahuasca ceremony or do something else. Because that way I know that I'm training myself to be master of myself. Even if in the worst situations when I was feeling completely powerless, I learned how to, in a conscious way, sober way, to reach within me that power. Even when I was losing memory and my brain was foggy, I was sitting with it, giving myself love and compassion, knowing it's temporary. And I will go through it and I will heal it. I was committed to doing step-by-step, slow process of being with myself and healing it. And that way I feel this empowered me even more, because when I work with myself, in this way, in a conscious way, I build the connection in my brain, connections in my brain which are stable, because this is based on habit. While some people were explaining me that when they take ayahuasca, for example, they have profound experience which can change the perception, but then they still have to do self-work after that. So I'm doing my self-work all the time. It's self-mastery, which is happening a lot. Of course, there are moments where I'm already flowing with life, wu-wei, letting go, feeling when I need to act, feeling when I need to rest, and this peace and stuff. And I don't have to do so much hard work to become conscious, you know, to stay in meditations for hours and go and, I don't know, for workshops all the time. I don't. I sit quietly within myself. If there's something bothering me, I look within, I check. And slowly I'm writing it down, or I ask my dream to reveal me what's the shadow behind that, to help me integrate it. I pray, I surrender with humility. Please, I'm so small in that, I don't know how to do with it. I work with it, please help me to resolve this thing. I go into a lucid dream where I resolve stuff. I have dreams which are coming by themselves to release trauma, to heal me. So for me, this is my ayahuasca. This is my mushroom trip. When I'm sleeping and I have a dream, or when I'm sitting and I'm asking myself questions, I get the answers. And if I don't get them straight away, I trust, I surrender. There are more layers to what I'm going through. So they're revealing themselves slowly, and that way I know that I am not re-traumatizing myself using something which I feel for me would be too strong. Because I know when people who are smoking or who took some mushrooms, I feel it in my field, I feel it in my energy. And I feel how strong it is for me, even if I didn't take it, if somebody else took it next to me. So I can imagine how strong, and maybe too strong, it could be for me. And I don't need that excessive experiences, since I have my natural experiences, being conscious and having dreams which reveal for me what I need to know. So this is me, and as I said, I'm not against it, and I trust that everybody is in the right moment, on the right path. And if you in the moment feel intuitively, yes, I need to do that, you do that, you know. And somehow till now, I'm 40 years old, I didn't feel the need of doing that. Like, I am so grateful that I was able to develop in my life such strong presence and consciousness to just look within and see what's there. And that's enough. And prayer, if I need help, or speaking with somebody, or going to therapy, or speaking with somebody about the difficult thing which I went through, that also helps. But at the end of the day, I sit with it. I sit in presence, I look inside, and I have insights, which I'm writing down, or contemplate on. Or I have feelings which are coming up, which I allow them to be. I don't tell them, oh, I shouldn't feel angry, I shouldn't feel sad, I shouldn't feel grief, I shouldn't feel fear. I feel it. I don't run away from it. I don't look any release outside. Some people search release in alcohol. Some people search release in cigarettes, in weed, in plant medicine. Like, guys, like, everything is for people, but if we overdo it and we use it as a means of escaping what I truly feel at this very moment, then it would be good for us if we would sit down and ask ourselves, why am I actually doing it? What is my intention behind it? Do I really need it? Am I really in touch with myself when I'm deciding to do it? Or something else is deciding for me, or someone else? Like, yeah, I trust you that you will know, you know? I'm not telling to you, don't do it. I'm just saying that I choose to sit every single day, regularly, with myself in silence. Be with myself, connected as much as I can. And if I had my period of CPTSD when I felt detached, I didn't reach for it. I stayed with it until I came back to myself. I went traveling because in the travel I feel I'm the most present, and that was helping me to come back to my power again, to awaken the instincts which I needed to awaken. So for example, for me, this is my natural way of healing. And then when I already reached the point when I felt okay, I came back. I found myself in that travel. I sit. I don't need to move around so much. I don't spend so much time with people around me. I don't go out for ecstatic dance or like, I don't know, other things. I don't need that anymore. You know, I don't feel like I need to look for something outside. I'm just sitting with what I have inside and ask questions and lucid dream. And so yeah, I don't intoxicate. I don't take plant medicine. My body knows, so I feel very cleared and pure, and it means that I'm more sensitive on things. So if somebody around me do those things, I feel it, like I would do it. You know, I can connect with that field. And to be honest, like I had dreams in which I have Indian people, indigenous people coming, giving me some leaves. I was taking in this dream those leaves, and I had a dream in another dimension which was answering some very important situation which I couldn't see from the, you know, eagle eye perspective. So I saw it through that dream. Or I had a spirit of marijuana come into my dream, and I received that pure feeling, how it is to connect with her. You know, so it's completely different than here. I tried it when I was younger. I know what it means. So it's completely different, pure experience. So I have those kind of experiences. I can sit with Amanita in the forest in meditation, or just touching her, or just being around her, speaking with respect, like to my teacher, like every plant, any tree. And I don't need to intake it. I don't need to smoke anything. I don't need to drink. I don't need to change my consciousness to know what I need to know. It's just the way I am. And maybe somebody said, oh, you're missing out. You should try at least once in your life. I don't have a feeling of missing out anything. I am. And this is the biggest enjoyment of just being, which is super silent and peaceful, and some other things on that base are showing up for me in this life, like blissful experiences and tastes which are hard to exchange for something from outside, you know. A taste for life, a taste of being, which I feel inside is so expensive that I don't want to sell it for, I don't know, for high, or for some spectacular experience. You know, at the moment, it's not calling me at all, and I trust that. You know, and I see how those plants are abused massively in the world. That it became like a fashion. You know. And it's not pure anymore. It's really hard to get pure plant medicine, you know? So I see what's happening. I see both sides. I see how healing and beautiful it can be. But I also see the other side when it's abused. We are abusing ourselves with it. We abuse it by not respecting it. So two sides of that. And I choose at the moment, this is the way it is, it's how it's guiding me. I choose to stay present as much as I can. Even in the moment of the panic, of the most stressful moment in my life, I choose presence, because then I know that my brain didn't get high for a moment and then fell down and I had to build up myself again. Is because I'm creating a stable connection, a stable experience, a stable presence, a stable connection in my brain. Something which is lasting, which is building up. So in a moment of death, I'm not panicking. In a moment of death, I will still become, I will still be, I will still be in touch, I will still be. You know what I mean? Because I go through the most difficult experiences sober. And I understand that it's not for everybody. As soon as we start practicing, the better with time it will be. But sometimes I understand that we are so traumatized that we need to take psychotropic medicine. We need to take microdosing of plant medicine. We need to reach for something stronger. And I completely understand it, believe me. I completely understand it. I know it. I know how it is. But if you could at the same time work on the presence, on observing, looking inside gently, building up that consciousness, that would help as well. But I know how difficult it is when we are in a state of trauma, frozen or in panic attack, running away, fighting, in anger and grief. I understand, I know. I've been there. So, yeah, so far I'm happy. I could stay pure like that and natural like that. And yeah, and this is why I don't do that. So have a good day.